We started off cool for some this morning, but boy, is summer coming back today and tomorrow. Get ready for some of those triple-digit temperatures, but changes are on the way as a strong cold front arrives for parts of the state and rain chances increase this weekend. Let's talk about it in this Thursday edition of the Texas Weather Roundup. Good morning, I'm Texas Storm Chasers Baldy-in-Chief David Reimer. Thank you for taking time out of your busy days to pop on in here for some Texas weather information. I know there are a multitude of ways you can get it, so thanks for taking a few minutes out of your day for, well, joining us. Let's get into it. And we're going to start off with the high-res rapid refresh model for today, tonight, Friday into Friday night. Now, today we're not expecting too much activity across the state. It's going to be hot. That'll be the main story. We'll have some high fire danger, wildfire danger, but we don't expect much precipitation. Can't rule out an isolated storm or two this afternoon during peak heating, but we do not expect many storms at all today. Going into tonight and tomorrow morning, we are going to see upper-level clouds quickly increase from the west as remnant moisture from a hurricane in the eastern Pacific begins flowing into New Mexico, Arizona, and eventually far west Texas. As we go into Friday morning, that will result in the chance for light to moderate rain showers to increase across the borderland of far west Texas, El Paso, into the Guadalupe Mountains. We may even see some light rain in parts of the Permian Basin, West Texas, and the Panhandle. Going into Friday afternoon, rain will increase across West Texas, the Big Country, the Concho Valley, the Permian Basin. Could see a few storms as well by Friday evening in North Texas, Texoma. There is the potential, along with the southward moving cool front interacting with some of that increased tropical moisture Friday afternoon evening, to bubble up a few stronger thunderstorms in North Texas and Northeast Texas, with the potential, thanks to some colder temperatures aloft, for maybe hail up to the size of $0.50. That is 1.25 inches in diameter. So we may see a few severe thunderstorms tomorrow evening with hail. Not a significant severe weather threat at this point. Here's the severe weather outlook from the Storm Prediction Center, and again, a level 1 out of 5 risk for isolated severe thunderstorms across Texoma, North Texas, the Arklatex, and Northeast Texas heading into Friday evening. Wildfire outlook over the next several days. Well, guess what? Today, we're looking at high fire danger. Western Panhandle, West Texas into the Big Country, and the Concho Valley. Overall, moderate fire danger for much of Texas. On Friday and Saturday, moderate fire danger for a decent chunk of the state, with low fire danger possible the eastern third of Texas, and in areas that we start to see wetting rainfall tomorrow, and especially Saturday, and, hint, Sunday. Let's take a look at the long-range pattern from the European weather model. We're going to be taking a look at the winds at 500 millibars. That's around 18,500 feet above sea level. This is outside of the summer months when we have no wind, and it's just easier to use the height anomaly graphics to determine overall, well, heat dome locations. This is an easier way for us to actually visually show you where we have upper-level storm systems. We have increased winds aloft. And in this case, well, it's an easier way to show you when we're about to have issues with storms. You can see the next few days, we're going to have northwesterly flow aloft. That means winds coming from the northwest in the mid and upper levels. That's going to help push a cold front south into Texas over the next few days across northern, well, let's just say northern third of Texas heading into Friday and Saturday. Northern half of Texas by Sunday into Monday. But we're also going to quickly change things up this weekend. See how we suddenly switch to a weak southwesterly flow aloft? So we're going to have moisture being pumped in from Baja, California, and Mexico, New Mexico, and Arizona. That's going to allow our precipitable water values, or the amount of moisture in the air, if you squeeze out a cloud, to increase substantially. And that's going to allow for some more efficient rainfall rates, a lot more moisture, and with that cool front, we could see a better chance of rain heading into the weekend and maybe early next week. Otherwise, after that, it looks like we'll probably start switching back into a less active, warmer pattern for second half of next week. Let's take a look at the European Simulated Weather Radar. And again, this is just it precipitating output, essentially precipitation output, heading over the next week. Saturday, you can see we're going to have scattered showers and storms by the morning hours. Those increase in coverage during the afternoon. Hit and miss activity. Going into Saturday night and Sunday, you can see we have a pretty good chance of at least scattered to perhaps numerous showers and maybe thunderstorms across several regions of Texas, maybe the less likely region being the Arklatex. Rain chances look to continue, especially across the southwestern half to two-thirds of Texas on Monday. Going into Tuesday, it looks like we'll start becoming less active. Rain chances perhaps continuing along the Texas Gulf Coast into the Rio Grande Plains and South Texas. In terms of the threat of heavy rain and flash flooding over the weekend, the Weather Prediction Center is highlighting the potential for isolated flash flooding on Saturday across the Panhandle, Northwest Texas, West Texas, the Big Country, the Concho Valley, parts of the Western Hill Country, the Permian Basin, the Big Bend, the Trans-Pecos, Davis Mounds, Guadalupe Mounds, and the borderland, El Paso region of far west Texas. Heading into Sunday, that risk spreads to pretty much include all of Texas, excluding far west Texas, west of the Davis-Guadalupe Mounds, excluding the Arklatex, and excluding the northeastern Texas Panhandle. We do note they have added a enhancement for the potential of maybe some scattered flash flooding. Eagle Pass, I almost said El Rio. It feels like a Monday. Eagle Pass up to Del Rio Junction, up to the Interstate 10 corridor in the southern Concho Valley and the northern Edwards Plateau. We'll refine this over the next few days, and that location may change somewhat, but Sunday definitely looks to be the wettest day across Texas. Now, that doesn't mean everyone's going to get heavy rain or that it's going to be a washout all day, but we're definitely going to see increased rain chances with scattered to numerous showers and thunderstorms possible. At this point, doesn't look like a significant severe weather threat. Even the flash flooding threat, if we're being realistic, does not look super duper high right now. And that's because here's the forecast rain totals through 7 a.m. Tuesday. Now you can see, overall, these have come down. And it's possible they may go back up somewhat, but data has trended down a bit. You can see at this point, the only folks really expected to get on a at least regional basis over an inch or two of rain is that area where the Weather Prediction Center has highlighted scattered flash flooding potential on Saturday, southern Concho Valley, parts of the Hill Country, and the northern Edwards Plateau. We also could see over an inch of rain lower Texas Gulf Coast, the Rio Grande Valley, up to the coastal Bend coastal plains. Everyone else, rain totals really at this point have come down substantially. We're looking at, a scattering of maybe 1/2 inch rain totals. Now, obviously, these are going to vary locally significantly. Some folks, if you end up under a heavy storm, for example, tomorrow night in North Texas, Northeast Texas, you could get an inch or two of rain in 45 minutes, while other folks are probably not going to see a thing. So we'll keep an eye on this, but overall this is trended down the last day in terms of our concern level for widespread heavy rains, but still, we're going to get a soaking, it looks like. But hopefully enough to be beneficial, but far less than what we would need to create a significant widespread flash flooding event. So yesterday, I ended up making a oopsie here with this graphic, and started out with the prior day's tropical weather outlook. Sounds like that was actually helpful to some folks, so we're going to do that. This is yesterday morning's tropical weather outlook over the Atlantic Basin. You can see the Hurricane Center had a 70% chance of development with a system over the open Atlantic. Pop forward a day, here is today's outlook. You can see that has now increased to 80%, and overall that little cone has shifted a little south. So some long-range data is suggesting that this system tries to remain weaker in the short term, which would allow it to stay more to the south, which would allow it to get closer to the Lesser Antilles. Long story short, faster the system develops, the more likely it's going to get pulled poleward towards the North Pole, so north, sooner, while a weaker system will not feel that effect and can stay farther south. Nevertheless, if we have, a system here in 10 days, we're going to have to watch the east coast of the United States pretty closely, it looks like. This may be another case where we have to deal with a system that passes either offshore with significant coastal impacts in terms of tidal flooding, or, depending on how this evolves, it may actually get a lot closer to the east coast. We'll just have to wait and see. But next 2 weeks could be interesting in that department. And as always, we'll keep an eye out just in case we have issues trying to approach the Gulf or the Caribbean as well. But for the next 7 days at least, we're fine. But we'll definitely be keeping an eye on things. Temperatures the next several days. Today is going to be hot. We're looking at 100 to 102 DFW to Mineral Wells, 95 at Wichita Falls, Amarillo, 99 in Lubbock, 98 in Midland and Odessa, 102 in Abilene, 92 in Texarkana down to Tyler, 95 in Paris. We're looking at about 93 in Lufkin over to Jasper and Beaumont, 98 in Houston, 103 in San Antonio and Austin. Ouch. About 94 right on the coast in Corpus Christi. Go just inland, it's going to be closer to 103. 101 to 103 in McAllen, 106 in Laredo, 102 in Del Rio, 98 in Sanderson, and we're looking at about 89 this afternoon in Alpine and El Paso. Heading into tomorrow, Crashy, the cold front begins to push in. A high of 69 in Dumas, 67 in Dalhart, 66 in Perryton, 73 in Amarillo. Still going to make it to about 86 in Lubbock tomorrow afternoon before the cold front pushes in and temperatures drop down to the 70s. About 92 in Vernon down to Wichita Falls, over towards Clarksville on the Red River in northeast Texas, 93 Texarkana. Still about 98 in DFW, 100 in Mineral Wells. We're going to hit a 101. Austin, San Antonio, mid-90s Houston, triple digits South Texas, the Edwards Plateau. About 77 in El Paso. Now, here's Saturday. Quite a change. How about a high of 79 for DFW, 76 in Texarkana. We're looking at about 82 in Waco, about 92 in Austin. We'll see. If that thing's able to shift south a little more quickly, well, maybe we can knock those temperatures down in the 80s instead in Austin. 96 Saturday afternoon in San Antonio, 95 Del Rio, 103 in Laredo, 102 in McAllen, 92 in Houston, 91 in Beaumont. How about 78 in Tyler, 78 in Odessa and Midland, 83 in El Paso, 77 in Lubbock, 73 in Amarillo. Really nice day for college football, right? It may be raining, but it's going to feel like fall, at least, for the northern half of the state. Here is Sunday. Things don't change too much. That cool front stalls out. Still, down to about 93 in San Antonio, right around 89 to 90 in Austin, about 89 in Houston, 80 for Dallas and Fort Worth, 80s all the way back through the Permian Basin, Big Country, Concho Valley, Hill Country, upper 70s to low 80s along the Red River, 70s in the Panhandle, West Texas, 88 in El Paso, 80 in both Marfa and Alpine. Well, let's do about 90 in Del Rio, 99 in Laredo, 95 to 98 in McAllen, so y'all don't cool down too much, unfortunately. But here's Monday. Now you do. 93 in Laredo, about 93 in McAllen. Look, I know, it's still hot, but it beats 106, right? 89 San Antonio, about 87 to 86 in Austin. We're still in the 80s to upper 70s. Northern at this point, we're going to keep the 90s confined to South Texas by Monday. Everyone else, you're either in the 70s to 80s for high temperatures on Monday. And you know what? That is pretty stinking nice, isn't it? Enjoy it, because the way it's looking, we're going to get back into a warmer, less precipitous pattern after that, excluding any sort of tropical mischief. Above average temperatures look to make a return to Texas September 9th through 13th. And precipitation outlook, not looking too good. Looking a little drier, with maybe a little above average chance of precipitation up in the Panhandle. But otherwise, well, we'll just get through the next few days. We'll get through the heat, and then Crashy the cold front will bring another taste of false fall to Texas. So Thanks for staying with us on this Thursday edition of the Texas Weather Roundup. You can always get your local weather forecast, interactive weather radar, daily Texas weather roundups, and more in the free Texas Storm Chasers mobile app. Just search for Texas Storm Chasers where you download apps for your device. You can also find us on YouTube. Just search for Texas Storm Chasers or Baldy in Chief David Reimer. And, of course, on our website, texasstormchasers.com. Thanks for staying with us today. We appreciate all of your support. We appreciate all the comments. We appreciate all those thumbs. Up or down, whichever you prefer. Honestly, it's fine. And, of course, if you haven't already, click subscribe to get notified when we publish new Texas Weather Roundups. And once we get active again, live Texas weather coverage. Have an amazing day. We'll see you tomorrow. God bless.